some people call it HEYBO. It's pronounced HEYBO, but with HEYBO Outdoors. And Scott, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and let you have the floor, though. Give me the bio, kind of who is Scott Clyburn, and where to go from there.
Yeah. Well, thank you. First off, Kenny, thank you for having us today. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to have us on and let us, share a little bit about our company.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we were talking earlier off, before we got on, and just, kind of how we started. And, I've been printing t-shirts, so to speak, for a long time. Just like any other young person, didn't know what I wanted to do, had no idea. And started printing t-shirts, working for a fella, and then started my own company when I was 20. And, we printed a lot of, we're in South Carolina, so we're about an hour south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And back in the early 90s, NASCAR was hot. We got hooked up with a couple folks who were in the NASCAR industry, and started printing a lot of NASCAR shirts, a lot of NASCAR drivers. Back then, drivers did their own merchandise, and
oh wow,
yeah, we printed for some big names, and some, we did a lot of stuff. I mean, we printed everything from, did some Davey Allison stuff, Ernie Irvin stuff, Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, for all the companies that handled their stuff. Jeff Gordon. I mean, going, way back when Jeff Gordon was a rookie, and we just did a lot of printing for the companies that represented those drivers. And we were very blessed, and we grew and established some great relationships with some of the NASCAR drivers. And, most of those guys that, back then, they were just good old boys. They wanted to race on Sunday so they could pay for their hunting and fishing the rest of the week. And
that's right.
But just grew. And as we were talking about, I've always loved the outdoors. Love to hunt and fish, but I was always on the fringes of the outdoor industry, if that makes sense. Let's see, back about 8-9 years ago, I really wanted to create our own thing, our own brand. I printed for a lot of brands, but I didn't control those brands. And so we did like everybody else, man. We started writing names on a board. I mean, just with a marker, just I almost had 1,000 names on the wall, just like everybody else. We tried to come up with that next thing. And I love the blue water fish, man. I love the offshore fish. It's one of my things. I love, we were fishing one day off the coast of South Carolina. A good buddy of mine, his name is Boo, B-O-O. And Boo's big old boy. He was laid back on a bean bag, and I had his son and my boys were with us, and it was slow, it was flat, fish weren't biting. We were trolling for some mahi, and we had dragon bait, and I was up there writing names on a paper towel. And he said, he asked me what I was doing. I said, well, I'm trying to come up with the next big thing, and I said, well, hey, Bo, how about come up here and look at these names? And he said, well, you got it right there. I said, not really, come up here and look at it. He said, you just said it. I'm a little slow on the uptake. And I wrote it down, and I said, well, okay. Went back to the print shop Monday morning, printed off some tees, and we started peddling at some of the outdoor shows. We did, we went to the Palmetto Classic down in Columbia, South Carolina. And then we did Dixie Deer Classic in Raleigh. We did the Tennessee Valley down in Huntsville. We've done the World Deer in Birmingham. We did them all, the Mississippi Deer. We did all those throughout the summer, just peddling shirts. We had about 12 designs, and my wife and I and my two boys were obviously a lot younger. I mean, they might have been, I don't know, 8 and 6, something like that. And we'd take off on a Thursday night with a little 12-foot trailer and bonsai across the country, be wherever we needed to be. Open on Friday morning. We'd sell T-shirts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Sunday night, we'd pack up and haul butt back to South Carolina and print them again Monday morning, run the business 4 days, and then take off and do it again. I think that first summer, we did about 14 shows, and we basically lived on the road. And I think I had the only 5 or 6 year old that knew how to run credit card machines. I mean, he'd take credit, it was truly a family affair. We had a great time, grew the business. And, after a couple of years of doing that, we said, we might have something here. We're starting to sell a little bit of product, and took a leap of faith and started looking. My print shop, we've been in the print business a long time, and I had HEYBO t-shirts crammed under every stairwell and every crooked cranny in people's offices. I mean, I was storing stuff everywhere, and we were out of room, and ended up coming to Chester, South Carolina, which is about 40 miles further south, about 40 miles north of Columbia, South Carolina, and bought an old textile plant down here. And I bought this old building, which I used to make white and blue dress shirts. And I made two things, white and blue dress shirts. And piece of history, and walked in, bunch of sewing machines. I said, man, this is really neat. And it still hadn't clicked. I went and I borrowed the money to buy the building, and man, I came back over here and I said, well, I guess playtime's over. I got to get real now. I got a big old building payment. I got to sell some stuff. So we got serious about it. And started growing the business. And here we are. I mean, it's April 1st was, we've been in this facility 7 years. So we've been, a formal business, quote unquote, 7 years. So.
Wow. Going at it.
Yeah.
So
yes, sir.
When I first seen, which talking about the Tennessee Valley Hunt and Fish Expo, just had theirs this past weekend. Seemed like the first time I'd seen the HEYBO stand there was at there, and I bought a shirt. I can't remember which one it was. I probably still got it. But when I first, and then y'all got into Academy, so I remember just the T-shirt printing part of it, some hats, and I kind of did some hats and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, one day we had hunting gear and button-up shirts and shorts and still going. So when did you decide, like, hey, all right, we're at that point now, I feel like we have more to offer than just lifestyle screen print T-shirts?
So in 2016, we started going through a little bit of, I don't know, I'm gonna call it self-analysis. Okay, we've got a legitimate business here. What started out kind of as a side business to our print company. Okay, well, it's got some legs. What are we gonna do with it? And we got a great group of employees, man. We got some of the best employees. We're in a little small town. We might have 7,000 people in this town, and that's being pretty liberal with the radius. That's we're a very small town, and we got great people. But we sat down around a table and said, where are we going with this? And we kind of all agreed that for longevity purposes, we needed to expand our product line. And a T-shirt line is really only as popular as the next popular T-shirt. And being in the printing business, I made a living doing that for going on, 30 years now. So, so I really said, when that next thing comes along, you're not as popular anymore. So we felt like we needed to move into clothing. So our first out of the gate clothing, we did a pair of fishing shorts, we did some fishing shirts, we did some button down shirts, and we did a few pieces of camo, and that was in 2016. And really, we're self-taught. There's nobody here's worked for Under Armour, or nobody's here's worked for a clothing company. We're the true definition of try it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but we people say, well, how'd you decide on this? Well, we came out with blue plaid dress shirts because we like blue plaid. It wasn't very scientific. We came out with quarter zip hunting jackets because we all duck hunt. We love duck hunt, and we started it like that, and then as we've grown it a little each year, fast forward into 2021, and in our spring line, we have two lines, spring and a fall. In our spring line, we have obviously graphic tees, performance tees, fishing shirts, long sleeve performance tees, long sleeve hooded performance tees, quarter zips, lifestyle pants, lifestyle shirts, dress shirts, headwear, accessories, drinkware. You flip over to fall and you have really early, mid, and late season in the camo gear. So you got early stuff for dove or bow hunting. You've got mid-season for, It's not quite cold yet, but a little bit of layering up. And then you've got some late season, some of the Sherpa fleece line stuff. And then obviously on the lifestyle side, we've got quarter zips and fleece and jackets and vests and you name it, a full lifestyle line. And it's been pretty exciting to grow it and to dabble and play. I still, I'm not gonna call myself an artist. I'll still grab a pencil and I'll sketch something out, and then I'll hand it to one of these great folks that know what they're doing, and they'll take an idea or a concept and we'll run with it. But I'll see two products sitting there, and I say that'd be really cool to morph those together. Or I may see a product and I may see a fabric that is on something completely different, and I'll say, man, that'd be a really cool jacket. Or and what's really neat in our business is you get to create. It's kind of like being a chef in textile clothing, man. If you can pull it out of the fridge and you can make it, this is really no different. Just it's really fun creating stuff, and then seeing the customers react to it. And listen, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. Sometimes it sells and sometimes it doesn't. But we've been very fortunate that most things that we've come up with have been successful. Knock on wood.
Yeah, and I mean, I seem like there's always something new, and I'm fortunate enough I get the catalogs a little early, so I start.
That's right.
I start looking and highlighting, kind of making my wish list, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then I tell everybody I'm a good idea fairy, so I'll start thinking, man, I'd love to see a jacket like this, or I'd love to see a shirt, and then usually it's like, yes, then we'll get some draw ups and stuff like that. It's always cool. So
that's right,
man. That's great. I like looking at all that stuff, and you bringing up earlier about the kids and stuff. So this is really turning into, or has always been, but it's really progressing to a family business for you. It started off that way. And probably sounds like your employees have been family. Even your guy that does all the expos that builds your floor setups. Brian, what's his name again? I'm sorry, I just forgot.
Keith.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're always so either their family or like family that's working with y'all.
We have a really special group. I'll be honest with you. We there's a couple companies out there that I look at and I say, man, I really want to be like that company. And I want to be one of those companies in the outdoor industry that you look and you see those same guys sitting on the front porch 30 years later, and they're in the same commercial, but you got a before and you got a current, and you're like, man, that's really cool. And you got a little more gray hair on your head. I got a little more gray hair, but you look back and you're like, man, that is really, there's a 1984 Chevrolet pickup truck sitting there, and you're like, man, that's bad. I mean, that is just wicked bad. And I want to be that company. And what's really neat, Kenny, is we got a great group of people here. When I moved here, and I actually even moved here, so from my printing company, which is about 40 miles away, I lived up there 40 years. Well, I moved down here to our little small town of Chester. We sold our farm up there. We moved down here, bought a place outside of town, and moved our kids and did everything. What's really cool about our small town is it's like stepping back in time sometimes. I mean, I wanted to create a place where if you lived in our small town and you want to work in the outdoor industry, this is a place you can go. Now, don't get me wrong. We can all go get jobs, and we've all had jobs, and a lot of them are just that, they're jobs, and it is what it is. But I want to create something that was really, really neat and be part of something that really just grows. And what's really neat is our core group that we started with is still here. I hope they stay here till they choose to retire. I mean, we got a great group of people, and I can't say enough about how special they are and what they've really meant to the success of this company. And a guy told me a long time ago, said a lot of times, you need to learn when to get out of your own way. And that's really about where our group is here is, we'll try to get them between the ditches, but once they've been rolling downhill and I'm getting out of the way, sometimes we've got to pump the brakes. Sometimes they got to tell me to get back between the ditches. That's just what's really neat about our team here. They all do just a great job, and give somebody like I say, in small town America, give somebody the opportunity to, man, if you like to bow hunt, wouldn't you love to work in the bow hunting industry? Or if you like to fish, or if you just love outdoors or farming, wouldn't you love to work in that industry? And this is our way of doing that, and that's what's really neat about it. We just got some great people.
Yeah, and I tell everybody has a passion for it, and bring up like the expos and stuff. And even your retail sites, you got one not far from where I live in Coleman at Vans. I'm at D&W all the time. So when you walk in there, you can pinpoint where the HEYBO stuff is because there's a big presentation booth with the sign over, everything's been stained, everything looks sharp. Somebody's taken time to build that, to have a presence there. It's no different than at the expos and stuff like that when there's the booth sets up and everything's been built. And it's very inviting. You can tell somebody cares about it. They just didn't put up some banners, have some green stuff, some netting. It's time and investment somebody's spent in that.
We do, and listen, I'll tell you, our Kenny, our company foundation, as you know, we're doers, and that's what we've always prided ourselves on, doers, man. I mean, I'll give you an example. This past week, I slipped off my family. We went fishing for a week. I had to avoid a little bit of tropical storm, but we went fishing, and we're do-it-yourself guys. I mean, I didn't charter a boat, I didn't do anything. We took our own. We went offshore. Sunday, me and my two boys caught a blue marlin, and
oh, wow.
I mean, and to me, that's equivalent of shooting harvesting a mature 10-point buck in velvet. I mean, it's special, and that's what we do. We always tell people we hang our own deer stands, we plant our own food plots, we plant our own dove fields. I'm working on my dove field now, and I'll be honest with you, I probably won't pull the trigger. I love just inviting people out and feeding them and having a good time, having those group of 10 or 12 kids around and preaching to them, don't shoot the low bird, just really bringing them into something that's just special, that, we got a small sliver in our world and we're trying to hang on to that small sliver of enjoying the outdoors. And that's what it's all about. And, but yeah, I mean, we're doers. You mentioned, whether it's building on trade show booths. I mean, we build our own booths. We load our own trailer. We drag it to wherever the show is, whether it's Orlando or whether it's Jackson, Mississippi, or whether it's Columbus, Ohio. I mean, wherever it is. And we do that ourselves. And we got people that do it. I mean, we got people that grind, and we run our company. I guess our culture is the same way as what our customers' culture is. I mean, our customers, they're not pretentious. They're not gear snobs. They're not buying something because it costs $600 or $700. They're more than likely they're not buying the $600 or $700 item. They're because they've got two kids that they got to buy something for them as well, and they got to think through all that. And that's what's really special about our product and our customers. We feel like our customers tell us that they do the same thing. I mean, Saturday morning they're probably on a bush hog, doing something out there, hoping that, waiting on dove season or waiting on deer season or planting food plots or fishing, pushing a John boat off and fishing or what have you. It's like we tell people all the time. I mean, it's nice to go out on a 60-foot sport fisher, but most of us are bouncing around in a 20-foot center console, and that's cool. I mean, you get a lot more opportunities to do that.
That's right. So, and I think it's a big part of it. I'd rather be out there working than paying somebody else to do it. And I have a lease in Alabama that I do a lot of my deer, duck, and turkey hunting on. And Farmer's a friend of mine, or he's my friend's daddy. And when I took the lease over a couple of years ago from another group of guys, I started showing up and doing my own work. And he was blown away. He's like, "Hey, I didn't know you was gonna be here." I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to get this millet in and think about hanging this stand." And he got to where he started calling me. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go plant some corn. You mind coming help?" No, bounce around. So, he knew that I wanted an investment, and because of that, I got to do more stuff, got to plant more stuff, and got to, hey, why don't we just burn here, do a little trimming here, get this, try to build this habitat, do here, and then And now, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the tractor stays there, the track hose stays there, and I got the keys,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
There you go.
because he knows I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make it better. But I want to do the stuff myself. I like being out there in July,
Yep.
August, September, sweating, getting to eat my bugs, and thinking,
That's right.
man, this gonna look good come November.
That's
Come
right.
Thanksgiving, I'm gonna have millet here, corn here, and water here, and
That's right.
man, that deer stand, I'm gonna do it some, clover this time, and come back and mow it a couple more times, and just thinking about I enjoy it so much, kind of planning it out. So that's definitely the doer type lifestyle.
It is, and you get more from it. I mean, my son and a buddy of his, actually one of our employees, he's working summer help here, and my son were spraying our dove field last night, and staying in front of the weeds, keeping it ready, and again, it's the fruits of their labor, because they know, and my kids grew up, they knew if they worked in it, and they knew if they did it, they get invited a couple buddies, and their buddies know if they come, they got to pay their dues by getting out there working a little bit, and so, and that's the good. I mean, that's what we're all about, man. I mean, get there and do it and grind it, and when you plant that clover and it comes up, like, man, I did that. I mean, listen, it's special. You get something out of it, so it's fulfilling.
Oh, very fulfilling. But I'm talking about all the outdoor activities. What's your favorite outdoor activity? If you had to pick one that was this is your last thing you could do till the end of time, what are you picking?
That's tough, man. You go. Can I pick a season? Can I pick a season and then?
Yeah, you can do one per catalog. One per catalog.
Man, one per catalog. Well, definitely, man. Blue water fishing is special to me, and I don't get to do it as much as I used to. But I enjoy it. I love doing it. I love figuring it out. Like I said, my buddy introduced me to it. It's special. It's time with the boys. It's time with the family. And I'm not much on inshore fishing. I love it. Blue water. I love pushing offshore, and I love that. But then, I would have to say, duck hunting, man. If I had to pick one thing, it's waterfowl hunting. We're a member of a club out in Arkansas, and spent a lot of time there. Last year I think we hunted 35 days out of 60, and we're 850 miles away. So when I say that, it's a lot of time we spend out there, and love doing it. We've got a work weekend coming up in October where we'll go out and brush blinds and do some work at the house, and to me, I'm looking forward to it already. I was actually thinking about it this weekend. I'm looking forward to it already, because to me, I'll be honest with you, that weekend to me is about, all right, I got to get these big pork chops cut, and I got to get some steaks cut, and I'm going to cook either on the fire dish, or I might put them on the green egg, or whatever it is, and it's about that camaraderie. They're all worried about brushing blinds, man. I'm worried about gathering and fellowshipping and having a good time, and we'll do the same thing. So, my boys will take some buddies, and another buddy of mine, he's a member out there, he'll take his son and some buddies, and their dues, quote unquote, are cutting brush and brushing blinds. That's their deal. So they got to go out and brush blinds, and they can come back and hunt, as much as their dad's there or whatever. But they got to go out there, like you say, fight the skeeters, and it'll be a few water moccasins sliding around. They got to go out there and fight the elements a little bit to do it. And but I'll be honest with you. And then you go back out there, man, and it's a cold morning, and after those first few weeks of duck season wear off, and traffic thins a little bit, and definitely even when you get into late January, you got less and less people hunting, and when that sun comes up, you got that ice out there, or you got some frost. You see that sun come up over that rice field, or coming up through that timber, man, and you got your dog there. Listen, man, it don't get any better. I'm sorry, it just doesn't get any better. And I would say to people that have never hunted over a great working dog, man, you haven't lived life. It's you got it. You got to have a dog. You got to have a dog.
I stress since I've got one, and I grinded out public hunting in Alabama in my first 10 years. I didn't even know how to call. We'd walk in, catch flybys, and then I can't tell you how many I lost. And finally, when I was like, I'm getting a dog, and it was kind of a deal my wife and I worked out, and And man, if I couldn't take a dog with me, or if mine couldn't go, if I couldn't bring a good dog, or have a buddy bring a good
Hmm.
dog, half the hunt's gone for me, if not more.
That's right. That's right.
I just love it, man. Especially, don't get me wrong, I love hunting timber. There's nothing like having greenheads come into trees. But you want to see a dog work, you put one on a rice
Yeah.
field,
That's right.
and
That's right.
you shoot specs at 30 yards, let them sell
That's
another
right.
150 yards, and watch a
That's
dog
right.
have to go over 2 levees and
That's right.
cross somebody else's field, chase a speck down
That's
that's
right.
half crippled, flying away, and bring it back to you. Oh, and by the way,
That's right.
remember the 2 teal and mallard you just shot after
Oh yeah.
on the way out, and go back and pick them up on the
Yep.
way in. There's nothing like watching a dog work in a field. It may
Agree
not be the best
100%.
hunting for timber or for leg, whatever, but as far as dog work, a dog chasing, 6 to 9 inches of water in the field or bean field,
Yeah.
whatever, it's
Yeah.
awesome work.
Yeah. Well, and to me, I love rice fields, man. I love hunting rice fields. I love hunting beans. Whether it's a sled blind or a pit blind. I mean, yeah, I love that. And like you say, listen, back in the early '90s, I was fortunate enough. A buddy of mine has a place right there in Lodge Corner, Arkansas, right below Stuttgart, and I was fortunate enough to hunt with him about 10 years straight, numerous times, and I had a very special dog. And I was fortunate enough, man, that over her time, she picked up a couple thousand birds. And, you know, the gentleman I was working with at dogs at the time, he said, you're going to have a special dog once in your lifetime, a really special dog once. You have a lot of dogs, but, and I think I had mine early. I mean,
Yeah.
And didn't, and probably was so young I didn't realize it. And I've got a good dog now. He's a good dog, and his name's Doc. He hunts a lot. But I had a little black lab female named Maggie. I hunted her for a long time. She cut her teeth on that public water. That's back when Biomeda was, it was crowded, but still you could shoot 6 bird limits, and you go in there and hang on a tree and or find you a blow down and hunt that small blow down or what have you. But I agree with you. And I'll take it either way, man. I love hunting rice field. I love that early glow, that golden glow in the morning, bouncing off that rice. And I love seeing that dog work. And listen, if you got a good dog, as you know, you don't need to watch the dog, and watch the dog. Dog's going to tell you everything.
Yeah.
And
half time we're cooking in the pit.
That's right. That's right.
Just checking and watch that dog.
That's
tail.
right.
When he starts
That's
going
right.
up,
He knows. He knows.
That tail just kind of I can hear the tail hitting the pit.
That's right. That's right. He's
there's
ready.
Ducks coming.
He's ready.
There's ducks.
That's
coming.
that's special. I have a saying, and I've got a gunner kennel, and I love it. So I'm gonna give Gunner a plug there. I love it. But I will tell you this: I'm a firm believer that I think leather seats are invented for a wet lab. I'll put my lab up front in a damn minute. I'll put him up front, sitting on the seat or laying on the back seat. You know what? That's he's a member of the family, dude, and that's the way we treat him. And they work their butt off for us, and they'll run after that cripple, and they'll go over ditches, and they'll do everything and come back and be cut up and bleeding, and they ain't noticed. Now they're ready to go again, and it doesn't bother them a bit. But yeah, it is special working over a dog. We'll definitely listen. We need to get together this winter and share some blind time out there, man.
Yeah, I was just thinking we're not far, and I know you eat up with it if you drive further than I do. So I'm probably. Last time I asked Jake about where y'all are at. Y'all are probably an hour and a half southwest of me. I'm in the Jonesboro Bono area, so I got a house in Bono, and I got 4 farms spread out between Bono, Jonesboro, Walnut Ridge, Egypt, just all over the place. And
we're
so
probably
I'm right there.
Yeah, we're south of Stuttgart. We're right there at Wabaseka, Humphrey, we're on the west side of the Biomeda.
And so you're probably over 2 hours past me then.
Yeah, we probably are, honestly. Yeah, because it's about an hour back to the interstate, and we don't, when we go out there, we break down off the interstate and go south, cross the river down at West Helen and all that as we go in.
Okay.
But go out through the Delta. That's kind of how we travel. Try to avoid Memphis traffic and all that good stuff. But yeah, and listen, we got a great customer up that way with Dennis Noel with D&W and Graham. Those guys are great people. They've been customers since day one. and
Really?
great area. Yes, sir. Great area. You know, love hunting up there. We used to hunt Waldenburg area, hunted up there for a number of years. And used to be a little steakhouse up there, and I think it was Waldenburg, called Josie's. I don't know if you ever ate there, but little
Uh-uh.
it was in the end of a gas station, but they had a phenomenal ribeye. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, man. But yeah, good stuff. Love, love, love. You know, and I'll be honest with you, man. I just think Arkansas is special. I've always loved it. I've fell in love with it since, you know, I think my first time in Arkansas was 94, 95, somewhere right in there. And I just think it's special. And really, really enjoy going out there. Have been out there, you know, almost every year. Skipped a few years when my kids were young. We hunted some big blind stuff off Reelfoot Lake, you know, big heated
Oh, wow.
blinds when they were
Oh, yeah.
little. But when they were, you know, when mine was old enough to stand up on the bottom of a deer stand, we went back to that timber. And you know, but you know, and listen, you talk about, you know, to us with our brand. I mean, it's about, duck camp to me is about camaraderie. You know, sitting around that table and just, you know, hey man, what is, you know, hey, did you see me shoot 20 feet behind that teal this morning? I mean, you know, it's just about all of that. And it's about sharing. It's about sharing time, man, breaking bread, sharing time, and you know, remember those special moments. And
Well, we do all that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So we laugh at the guy that fell in the water, and
oh
you
yeah,
know,
oh yeah,
you crack on him all day long, or who shot the decoy? I just bought those
oh yeah,
decoys,
oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
usually we every night, which we got an indoor fireplace and outside fire pit too, and we're usually out there at the fire pit. Somebody's got the grill going. We're either running chili, making jambalaya, or
That's
we're
right.
prepping doing steaks, or doing something. Oh, and we got
That's
some of
right.
our fields that literally the back door of our house. We'll sit there and watch the ducks go in the field. Like,
Wow.
right, we'll do our plans for the next day and who's
Yeah.
going where, or which dog we got. And
Yeah.
almost everybody in my club's either military, retired military, or whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
we all come together. And our work weekend's always Veterans Day weekend. That's a long weekend for us. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
our time to get back together. So we go there and do all of our field pumping and cooking, and that's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
our time together. A couple weeks for the season. So that's why duck hunting's number one for me as far as worldly things outside my family.
Yeah.
Just the camaraderie. I want to be in a pit full of people. I want to be. Everybody's like, well, we've got too many. Well, if you got one person shooting at the duck, you might as well have 8 persons shooting
That's
at the
right.
duck.
That's right.
It ain't
That's
gonna make
right.
no
That's
difference.
right.
One gun going off, 8
Yeah.
people going off. And so I'd
That's right.
rather our very first pit was a 6-man pit. We used to hunt 9 people in it. We had to have
There
kids
you
sitting
go.
on dog boxes with the dogs. Somebody with the
Mm-hmm.
Coleman sitting in their lap trying to cook for everybody and shoot. I mean, and we thought we was high time, man. We were in Arkansas living
Oh
the
yeah.
good life. And we were, and
Hey,
now we got fields all over the place and go hunt timber when we want to. And it's
that's
just
awesome.
I love that part of life. So yeah, we definitely need to get back together. So I know
We do.
y'all's
We do.
club, y'all just do just y'all, or y'all have people from the outside, or y'all do like
So our club was started with a few local guys, Kenny here, that we were a member of a club, and that club kind of went defunct, and I'll be honest with you, we kind of, you know, a few years back we were you know, I've hunted with guides, and when my buddy in Arkansas, he shut down his guide service when they quit guiding on public water, so
yeah.
he had to kind of shut down, and we kind of floundered around for a little bit. And we ended up hunting with a couple of guides and outfitters. And the challenge with some of the big clubs to us was just, you know, I had 2 small kids, man, and I wanted them to learn the right way. And, you know, I didn't, you know, I wanted to go and have a good time, but there, you know, there's some elements around some big clubs. And I said, you know, I'm here to hunt. I'm not, you know, and I'm here to have a good time, and I want it family oriented with some good values. And so we formed our own little club, and we leased some ground around Stuttgart, and had a phenomenal year. I mean, there was 5 of us. We burned it down, man. We thought we had arrived, right? And then we lost all our lease ground. Very first year, lost our lease.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I mean,
man.
yeah. So here we are in 1 year, and we have arrived, right? And then we lost our ground. So, really, long story short, what our club is now, it's a few close folks here. They are literally from Chester, South Carolina, everybody. And we basically, what we use the club for now is these few close guys, father, son, father, daughter type deal. And I say few, there's 5 total. And, they go out there as they please when they want. And then what we also do as a company is we take customers and we go out there and spend some time with them. And, we had some decent goose ground last year, and we were fortunate enough to get on some geese and work on those guys a little bit, but good, duck ground. And I mean, we're literally, man, I'm 5 miles from the ramp at the Biomeda, but we, my son may go jump on that public every now and again, but I'm too old to fight that, man. I'm with you. I'm gonna crawl up in that pit on that rice. I'll be honest with you. But no, we, so it's small and local. We don't quote unquote sell any hunts or anything like that, but it's, we do let, we've got some close folks here that use it. And it's Prairie Oaks Duck Club's the name of the club. And like I say, we're about 26 miles southwest of Stuttgart, right on the corner of Biomeda, right below Wabaseka, Humphrey, right there. We cut across the bottom side of the Biomeda, the triangle, so to speak. And we've got some ground over in Lodge Corner. We got some ground west of the Biomeda. So it's a good area. But like, as you know, it's duck hunting.
It's duck hunting, man.
It is. So I don't get caught up in
being the best spot there was last week, and you never see one the next day.
That's right. And you can be in the worst spot. You can be in the worst spot and hammer them,
Yeah.
Never
miss a south wind, never miss a fall.
That's it. That's exactly right. But yeah, we definitely need to get together and share some blind time, man.
I enjoy it. So
yes,
what's next for HEYBO? We got some products we can talk about or anything?
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah, so we have greatly expanded our lifestyle collection. Our lifestyle collection would be things like non-hunter, non-fish. So flannel shirts, field pants, and we now got 5 colors. We've got a lightweight field pant that's coming out in the spring 22. We've got some more casual shorts, cotton casual shorts. So, whether, if you want to wear it to dinner, wear it to the golf course, wear it to the restaurant, whatever we've got a lot of casual stuff that really have expanded that. We have improved a lot of our camouflage stuff. We've also got a new brand of camo that we're trying. We did it last year. It did really well. It's called Ev Terra camo, and it did really well. We've got Mossy Oak, which is phenomenal. Realtree is phenomenal. Got some vintage stuff. Got some old school camo. Everybody likes old school, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, so really our lifestyle collection's really expanded. We got a lot of things on the drawing board that, not sure if we'll go down that path or not. We're dabbling with some things, but really it's an expansion. We have a saying here. We want to expand our share of your closet. What we want to do. So I want to get more of your closet. And so, listen, if you want to get up and go to work and put on a cotton button down, I want to cover you. If you want to put on a fishing shirt, I want to cover you. You want to put on a pair of quick dry shorts, I've got. If you want to put on cotton short or cotton dress pants, or listen, we have socks, we have underwear, we have boxer briefs, obviously headwear, jackets, wax jackets. We have a really neat jacket coming out this year for fall 21. I have to keep my numbers straight because we build stuff so far in advance. We have a old school, it's a duck cloth work jacket, old school camo. It's a game jacket. It's got game pockets, shell holders, game zipper in the back. It's like what your granddad would have wore quail hunting, and it's a wicked bad jacket. It's not wax. It's just it's a work jacket. We expanded our workwear line for fall 21. That's looking good. But yeah, I mean, just continued product improvement. We came out with a new cooler. We did a cooler. Our customers wanted a cooler. We got a new cooler. It's online now. We got a dry bag. It's online now. Expanded our drinkware. So it's really, about expanding into the HEYBO lifestyle. Wax luggage.
That's what I was about to say. this closet here behind me has got every piece of wax
Yeah.
luggage you got in there. And then I've been
Good.
flying and traveling and stuff a lot. And I've got to where the one I use the most is just been the little satchel travel bag.
That's it.
I
Yep.
can put my computer in there, my headphones in the front pocket, some underwear, some
Yep.
socks, a couple of things.
Yep.
And I fly
Yep.
it with the plane every single time. I go to the airports and it's held
Yep.
up, and then taking my duffel bag, my leather one with me. And then I
Yep.
love the old school, the heritage stuff we're doing, some sweaters.
Yeah.
And the few days I did get to hunt last year, I mainly wore the sweaters and the wax jacket.
Yep.
You know, I used the new technical hoodie, but I wore
Yep.
that wax jacket. It's 2 shades
Mm-hmm.
darker than it was when I got it from y'all year prior. Weighted in it,
Yeah.
and it's held
Yep.
up, and it's, you know, I think a lot of that's come back in. You know, we had the days of, and it's still there, right? But a lot of people are going back and looking. Hey, you don't, camouflage is great, but sometimes you can shoot them wearing brown,
right.
green, and olive.
That's
you know,
right. That's right.
And stay warm, stay dry. I think it looks cool. I love doing my photos. I just think it looks cool with the dog and some of that stuff, and the beanie hats, and I think a lot of that's really come back into style for something. You know, it's definitely a category people are getting back into.
Well, it is, and you just nailed it, Kenny. I mean, you look at what the content you've created, which very to appreciate, by the way. You do some great content, great photos. The vintage stuff, you're exactly right. People have taken what would have been a quote unquote dress or casual type jacket, and they're wearing it throughout the whole field. I mean, everything top to bottom. And it's kind of like, exactly like one of our guys has one, and somebody asked him at duck camp, said, "Man, what's wrong with your jacket?" He said, "Nothing. I'm just using the heck out of it." And the same thing. The sleeves are darker. I mean, it was just all, he's using it, and kind of like wearing the blue off that old shotgun. What's wrong with your gun? Nothing, man. It's perfectly fine. I'm just using. That's it. Broke in. But yeah, that's really big. We've got an Uplander sweater, which has a wind blocker line. It's a wool sweater with a zip. I mean, and you're right. Listen, you can hunt, and if you're still, you can hunt in a lot of your natural tones, a lot of your different things. You just got to be still, hug a tree, get in the shadow, stay down. You're good with that. So, but really, that's about it, man. We're developing more accessories and more things, and we're gonna keep pounding them out. And dog bowls, man. We got in a new shipment of dog bowls yesterday. They're really cool. We sold out of our shipment this past winter. We got another one in there, so it's good stuff.
We're gonna get a Pursuit Chapter 2. What's gonna be the next video, marketing wise, we might do?
We were talking about that, and don't know. I'll be honest with you. We've done a lot of trips, but obviously a little bit of our pursuit plan got wrecked for the past 18 months, obviously with travel restrictions and different things. We've had 2 big trips, which were supposed to be episodes, canceled due to travel restrictions. And in that time, as you know, content's changed. Films have changed, where they're looked at, and even length of films. And it's just, things have changed. And God, we're in such a fast spinning world now. So I'm not sure what our future direction is going to be. I mean, we're definitely going to pick up some stuff in the fall and put together a pursuit with the fall coming up, because we got some deer hunt coming up. We're going to try to chase some deer in Kentucky. I think I'm going to go back to Texas, chase some deer, and definitely do some waterfowl hunting. So, you mentioned going out into Arkansas, and I always try to stay off that first weekend in November, because that's the rut, man. I got to be in a tree somewhere. So I got to get those blinds brushed early so I can go try to bow hunt somewhere. But it's what we wrestle with, Kenny, right now is just, where's it going? I mean, what's the landscape with content? It changes so fast, and
it does.
And so we'll see. I don't, I mean, how long has TikTok been around? 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we went, 3 or 4 years ago, we didn't even know it existed, and now look at it. Just, again, it's such a crazy thing that it changes. And films change, content change, the length of them change, all that good stuff changes. And so we'll definitely have some stuff in the fall. Part of it's going to depend on travel, and part of it, we'll put some stuff together. So
I tell them they're gonna have to flat my tires to get me to go somewhere this year. So even then, I'm gonna find a way. So
I understand. I get it
somewhere. But
well, we wanted to go. We wanted to sneak over to Canada last year. We had that lined up to go back up there again, and our fear was you get up there, you might not be able to get back. So
that's right.
We definitely wanted to come back. So
yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, my dad just got back from the mission trip in Guatemala, and that was their big worry with travel, getting stuck there. But it ended up working out for them. So
good deal.
But hey, Scott, I appreciate your time, bud. I appreciate you meeting with me. And this, even though I've been a part of the brand for a couple of years now, this is the first time you and I've actually got to talk. So
yes, sir.
I was working with your other guys then, and now me and Jake go back and forth. So I probably nervous a little bit. I can be a good idea fairy sometimes. So I try not to throw much stuff out there, but I appreciate y'all and I appreciate your time.
Well, we appreciate you partnering with us, man. We appreciate everything you do, and thanks for having us on. And hey, man, let's get together and let's share some time, man. Okay.
Sounds good, Scott. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Yeah.